Today, we will hear from Black Americans speaking on their experiences dealing with racism from the Hispanic community. Check it out.
This is what's killing me about Black people. They on this social media talking about, oh, now brown people need our help. Oh, hell no, we're not gonna get in it. Who the f*** asked Black people for help in the first place? We didn't never ask y'all for help. I don't know where y'all getting this shit confused. Go sit down somewhere. At the end of the day, we're Puerto Rican people. We're gonna stick up for our Mexican people all fucking day. So yeah, we don't need y'all to stick up for us because we got this. We've been slaves. We've been in the struggle. We know what the we gotta do. We gotta stand up for our Mexican peoples. Even if y'all don't want to, we never ask y'all for help. Never. The out of here. Go sit down somewhere with that bullshit.
Story time. This is why it's important to know Spanish in 2026. So I'm in the gym right behind me, and as I'm doing shoulders, a Black woman walks in, and she has this big, huge blonde afro. It's quite noticeable, but it's her style, so I don't really give a damn. So she walks past me, and she sets up her bench next to two Latino males. Them not knowing that I understand and speak Spanish, this is what I hear. Oye, primo, mira esa mujer, que fea. Mira esa mujer, que fea. So in front of a Black woman's face, you just said, look at that ugly woman. Literally 2 feet from her. So I drop my damn weights, because you're not finna talk about a Black woman in front of my face like that. So I go to him, I say, papi, ¿qué le dijiste a esa mujer? He's like, no dije nada. I said, no, tú dijiste que esa mujer está fea. Te escuché. He's like, no, papi, es que estaba mirando una foto. I said, okay, a ver, let me see the photo. And he's like, ya me voy. Curse these racist Latinos out. Do not be scared.
I already know I'm about to ruffle a few feathers with what I'm about to say, but I could care less. Somebody need to let this shit be known, so maybe we could try to get a change going. Okay, when it comes to Hispanic culture, people, and I do mean the people from Mexico, the people from Puerto Rico, the people from Cuba, the people from Colombia, the people from Guatemala, those people in that race, y'all rude as hell. Yep. Y'all rude. Y'all nasty. Like the older generation Hispanics, not nasty. So this not for everybody. But you younger generation Hispanics, y'all be nasty as hell. Cause number one, y'all be in the stove standing this close trying to hurry up and get y'all shit paid for, and then y'all cough on people. Y'all don't be having no damn manners. Y'all know what I dislike? When you be in the stove and you literally standing there looking at whatever it is you ready to choose or whatever, and they'll just come walk past you, like smooth walk past you. They do not say excuse me. Why y'all don't like to say excuse me? Why y'all give Black people y'all ass to kiss, but then when y'all be around white people, y'all be having y'all head down, yes ma'am, si senor, but then it's like, they the ones on y'all ass. They the ones on y'all ass, but y'all want Black people to help y'all fight against Trump and damn ICE, but then y'all give us y'all ass to kiss. But really, the race that y'all kissing ass is the ones that's taking y'all ass down. So I'm gonna be the first one to let y'all know. If y'all want a problem, when you see me out and about, try me. I'm not sparing shit no more. If you walk past me and you don't say excuse me, excuse you, and I'm gonna say that shit so rude, and I don't care how many of y'all in the damn store together. I promise I don't. Like, get y'all shit together. Y'all be trying to talk about this and talk about that. I seen this Hispanic lady going off on this Black lady, and she was 2 words away from calling that lady the N-word, and I just wanted her to say it so quick because I was going to jump in, tag me in. Tag me in. As soon as she would have tagged me in, I would have said, ice. Ice, ice, baby. Ice. Cause see, y'all be wanting to, go back to Africa. How the fuck you gonna tell us to go back somewhere? I don't know a street name in Africa. I don't know none of their counties. I don't even know their zip codes. I don't even know what the phone number start with. Y'all on the other hand, however, y'all don't even speak no English, so you fresh off. Oh, like I said, I knew I was gonna piss a couple people off.
Now let me say this for the people who don't know. These Houston Mexicans are racist. The Houston Latino people are racist. I'm telling you, listen, I have been dealing with them for over 12, 13 years. You feel what I'm saying? These folks are racist, bro. Anytime you go on a job, the only focal point is going to be the Black people. They're not going to tell their people nothing. They're going to let their people pretty much do whatever they want. But they're only going to focus on the things that you do wrong. I go through it all the time. You see what I'm saying? Now, mind you, I only worked 2 days. From construction jobs to fast food jobs. That's why a lot of teenagers don't have fast food jobs, because you got 40, 50, 35-year-old immigrants, illegal, that's working these jobs. Because what they do, they fire all the black people. Once a Mexican become a manager, they fire all the black people, get them out of there, whether it's paperwork, whether it's through picking with them, whether it's whatever kind of situation, they get them out of there and put their people in there. Every single time. But it's not that they do that, it's the way they do it, you hear me? They can't rise up without shitting on the American black person or the black person, period. They can't rise up without doing that. If you know anything about working with a Mexican, they always telling so they could get a position, so they could get a spot. And that's not the way to do it. They always discriminating on who? Us, every time. There's no other group they attack like this. Never. And if you from Houston, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I realize that, like, a lot of y'all be low-key racist, because why do y'all, like, start saying when likes black girls, or he probably left you for a black girl? You always want to bring up how masculine or how manly she is, or you want to compare her to, like, a man, compare her to something barbaric. Or you always want to bring up how, but my hair is real. It's not like you always want to shit on her in a racist way. And then you'll be like, I'm not racist. I only feel like that towards her. Like, you always want to try to deny her femininity and stuff like that. Try to just make it seem like if you're better than her for, like, the most racist reasons. Not because of the character, not because you think my face is prettier than hers, and it really be true. But y'all just think that you're prettier than her because you're a different race. If you really want to be technical, you cannot even hold a candle to that woman, but let you tell it just because you're not black, you're automatically prettier than her. So I'm just kind of like, that's a little strange, a little weird.
Can we just discuss the hidden animosity the Latino community has with the black people, bro? Because to be completely honest, my nigga, you would think that being minorities would band us together. But the essays down in San Diego still acting like the Jim Crow laws are still in effect, my nigga. Like, chill. The shit was getting so OD, I damn near ran the ones with one, my nigga. All because this nigga want to poke his head in some shit he had no business being in, and bro genuinely believing that he was saving somebody from an aggressive black man. Huh? So with that being said, lock in. Don't even peep game, just lock the fuck in. So a couple of years ago, I used to date this one Latina chick, right? And one day, me and her got into a little argument, right? Now, mind you, during this time, we were in San Diego, California, right? She is from San Diego. I was just in a military station in San Diego. So I lived on a military base, but she lived in the city. So with that being said, whenever we would get in an argument, bro, I would just take her home because I'm not dealing with that bullshit. So when I take her back to the pad, the situation just completely blows out of proportion. It went from this little baby ass argument to this whole like bullshit, right? And because of that, it went from just like a normal argument to yelling, and then she started screaming and some more shit, right? And to keep it real, it got so loud to the point where neighbors were hearing that shit. Like, people around could hear it. Now, while all of that is happening, there is one neighbor in particular that decides to start getting active, right? Now, this neighbor in question, for one, does not live at the complex. And on top of him not living in the complex, in the apartment complex, bro only knows Spanish. And we're having an argument and conversation in English. So he does not know a word that is being said right now. So bro decides to step out of his crib, or to be more real, whoever's crib he was in at the time, and butt into our conversation, right? And in the middle of our conversation, he's just gonna start yapping to her in Spanish. And he immediately tells me to back up on some aggressive shit. To be honest, this should have been the end of the yap session, my nigga, because I should have just snuck his ass and made him go night-night. But during this time, I was in the military, so I was not trying to catch no civilian court case. And on top of that, the nigga was at least like 60 years old. So that shit would have been free eats. So instead of trying to do anything, bro, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking leave. But you see, my girl, she didn't want me to leave because she wanted to continue talking about this. But I was like, nah, like we can talk later about this shit, right? So I'm still gonna go leave. And in the midst of me trying to leave, bro, this random ass nigga is going to block the door and block me from leaving the house. Because in his dumb ass, lobotomized ass brain, he thought that she called the cops on me and was trying to get me arrested for like DV or some bullshit. Mind you, I ain't touched a bit one time since we started arguing. So I'm trying to leave. Now he's in front of the door, and bro's gonna push me back and tell me to stay right there until the cops get there. And then he immediately swings on me on some bullshit. But you know, bro is pushing damn near 70 years old. The slowest shit I've ever seen in my life, so I weaved it with ease. I'm not gonna lie, at this point, bro didn't piss me off. Because it's like, bro, what would possess you to swing on me, my nigga? I could really end your life right now. Like, the power's in my fucking hands. I'm telling you, this nigga was old as shit. So at this point, I am fighting demons to keep my composure, bro. And also at this time, the cops were most definitely called, my nigga. Because you're not finna get away with this bullshit. So fast forward some time, right? The cops finally get there. And, you know, they separate everybody and they're trying to get everybody's story right one by one. And due to violence being mentioned, somebody had to go to jail. Now, that somebody wasn't me that day, my nigga. The Latina girl I was with, she ended up going to jail, my nigga. So some time passes, she ends up getting out of jail because it was just bullshit the whole time. And she ends up calling me, right? So, you know, we talk it out. But come to find out, bro, he ends up pulling my girl at the time to the side, right, in private. And he pretty much tells her, bro, that he cannot stand black people. And that's the reason why he did everything that he did that day. Now, when I initially heard that shit, I was pissed off more than a motherfucker. But you see, the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ works in mysterious ways. Because about a month or two later, bro ends up getting straight deported, my nigga. And I ain't seen or heard from that bitch nigga since.
I'm a very strong believer in, if you don't like us, then why not just segregate yourself away from us? Just go to a neighborhood where we're not at. And, you know what I'm saying, do y'all thing where y'all be at. You know what I'm saying? There's neighborhoods where you don't have to be around us. You don't have to come around us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not forcefully putting ourselves around y'all like that, truth be told. But y'all willingly put yourselves around us and then turn around and tell us that you don't like us when everybody else is not around. If it's not a bunch of us together, you wait till we consolidated and then sit there and try to hate against us one at a time. Gang up on people one at a time. Y'all like to jump, basically. The Latinos don't like us because everything is tracing back to us. Everything that has ever happened throughout the history of time has happened because of us. Y'all do the research. Y'all been doing the research your whole lives. But every day they starting to turn their backs on us for real now. Like, I actually sat there and told the people that I was working with that I had kids at home, and they destroyed everything that I had going on. They destroyed everything that I had going on, bro. Everything. And I was coming up, you know what I'm saying, the right way. Got 2 kids. This is my first 2 children. I'm trying to stay out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to come up the right way, you know what I'm saying, and work. You know what I'm saying? Work a job, find a better job, work that job, find a better job, work that job, and just duke it out. You know what I'm saying? But when I tell y'all these Latinos they really got it out for us. These Mexicans got it out for us for real, man. They got it out for us bad, bro. And they don't even have a reason to have it out for us. They the ones started this shit. And it's all with that fucking protest shit that the protest is what really just sparked it. The protest really just brought y'all real true colors out. Truth be told. Because for one grown ass person, especially a woman, to turn around and try to ruin the lives of several people and try to blame it on them wanting to let their family work. What is the point? Okay, this is part 2 to what I was telling y'all before. Now, mind y'all, like I said before, the new manager brought back everybody that my manager had got rid of because they were either stealing money, trying to get her in trouble, going against her word, sitting there saying that whenever they sit there and she asks them to do something, they'll sit there and tell them that she's not fucking doing it. Yes, they'll sit there and tell you they're not doing nothing. They're not going to do what the fuck they want. What you tell them to do at a job that they wanted to work at. Now, mind you, everybody that they brought back to their store, after they turned around and laid me off for complaining about them taking away my hours after I had just got promoted, they're literally ruining my position after kicking me out the store to work so that they can work that position. So let me get this straight. Y'all got me fired. Said that I was complaining because you took me from having 6 days a week or 5 days a week with 1 or 2 days off to working 1 day a week for each week for a 2-week pay period and getting paid $60 when our light bill is over $100 to $200 a month. I got paid $60 for a 2-week pay period. The very last paycheck that I had. Y'all couldn't even let me finish out my whole 2 weeks with the paychecks that I was making to make sure that when I did get kicked off, that I still had a check and I had time to go find another job. These motherfuckers fired me with $60, bro, to my name, dog. $60. They took all my fucking hours away and then turned around and left me with $60. You laid me off and said that I was complaining because I only made $60 for 2 whole weeks, my nigga. 2 whole weeks. $60?
Like any place, there are some good and bad people anywhere you go. I have traveled and lived in different countries. What I have seen is that many countries, whether they are Latin, Asian, European, etc., racist behaviors are mainly covert actions, activities that are hidden or concealed, or overt actions, activities that are open, more in your face. Years ago, as I was on my journey of learning Spanish language, I used to watch several Spanish TV programs such as Sábado Gigante, Despierta America, 12 Corazones, and Primera Impacto, etc. While watching these shows through the years, I began to notice that these shows rarely, or if at all, had Afro-Latin people on the shows as host of shows or news anchors. That's when I started looking into the history of Latin American countries. On this Mahogany Culture and Travel channel, I have done a video about the history of Black people in Mexico that you can look at, that speaks further on the ancient history of Afro-Mexicans. Since the 1910 Mexican Revolution, people of African descent in Mexico were largely excluded from official documentation and national identity. In Mexico, there is a popular expression of mejorar la raza, a phrase that is used in Latin American countries, which means improve the race. It implies that you should marry or have children with a whiter person so you'll have better-looking kids. La raza has historically been used to refer to the mixed-race populations, primarily, though not always exclusively in the Western Hemisphere. For over a century, Mexico maintained a racial ideology known as mestizaje, which promoted the idea of a mixed-race national identity that primarily included indigenous and Spanish ancestry. This ideology effectively erased the presence and contributions of Afro-Mexicans from the country's history and identity. It was not until 2015 that Mexico officially recognized Black Mexicans as citizens of Mexico in a national census, acknowledging them as citizens with distinct Afro-descendant heritage. This was a significant milestone, as it allowed for Afro-Mexicans to be counted in demographic data, leading to a greater push for their rights and inclusion in national policies. However, racism and colorism remain major issues across Latin America, including in Mexico, Brazil, Honduras, Venezuela, and other countries. Many Latin American nations have deeply ingrained anti-Black biases due to their colonial histories, where African enslavement was brought in to work on plantations, mines, and other labor-intensive industries. Despite the abolition of slavery in the 19th century, racial hierarchies persisted, favoring lighter-skinned individuals and reinforcing discrimination against those of African descent. In many Latin American countries, a racial and social hierarchy exists where white or lighter-skinned individuals of Spanish descent hold the most power, wealth, and influence, while darker-skinned individuals, including Afro-descendants and indigenous people, often face systemic discrimination and economic marginalization. Although Mexico has an Afro-descendant population, the government historically confined them to certain regions, often keeping them out of national consciousness. The majority of Afro-Mexicans live in the states of Guerrero, Veracruz. Veracruz is a historic port city where enslaved Africans were brought. Oaxaca and Costa Chica, a coastal region spanning Guerrero and Oaxaca with high concentrations of Afro-Mexicans. These areas have historically been underdeveloped, with poor infrastructure, limited job opportunities, and a lack of government investment. The deliberate neglect of these communities has contributed to the continued marginalization of Black Mexicans. Many Afro-Mexicans in these regions have limited political representation, experience racial profiling, and face difficulties in accessing education and healthcare. In countries like Brazil, where the largest population of Afro-descendants outside Africa resides, systemic racism manifests in disparities in education, employment, and police violence. In Mexico, Afro-Mexicans have historically faced exclusion from political representation, economic opportunities, and social recognition. In Honduras, Garifuna communities, Afro-Indigenous peoples, have suffered from land displacement and violence. In Venezuela, despite a history of black resistance, Afro-Venezuelans often experience discrimination in social and economic structures. From the moment slavery was abolished, freedmen Black Americans, descendants of enslaved black people in the United States, have stood on the front lines in the fight against white supremacy. Despite being marginalized, terrorized, and systematically excluded from full citizenship, freedmen have continually resisted oppression while showing solidarity with other marginalized groups, including many immigrant communities. Yet time and again, these same communities have turned their backs on Black Americans, co-opting civil rights gains, aligning with white power structures, or outright sabotaging Black progress. After emancipation, Black Americans built independent institutions, churches, schools, businesses, and mutual aid societies as a form of resistance. From Reconstruction, 1865 to 1877, to the Civil Rights Movement, they organized voter registration drives, founded newspapers, formed armed self-defense units like the Deacons for Defense, and filed countless lawsuits challenging segregation and discrimination. Despite being the most targeted group under white supremacy, Black Americans became the moral backbone of American democracy. Figures like Ida B. Wells, Frederick Douglass, W.E.B. Du Bois, and later Malcolm X and Dr. King led global conversations on human rights. Black Americans have historically supported other marginalized and immigrant groups, often seeing their struggles as linked. In the early 20th century, Black labor organizers welcomed poor European immigrants into union struggles against exploitative factory owners, even when those immigrants held racist views. During World War II, while Japanese Americans were placed in internment camps, the NAACP opposed their incarceration, advocating for their civil liberties. In the 1960s, the Chicano movement, Native American rights campaigns, and the Asian American movement all drew from the strategies and moral authority of the Black civil rights movement. Black leaders marched with and advised organizers from these communities. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. openly supported Mexican farm workers in California, led by Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, saying their fight for dignity was part of a larger struggle against economic injustice. Despite this solidarity, many immigrant communities have turned their backs on Black Americans once they gained access to resources, whiteness, or social mobility. After the 1959 Cuban Revolution, many Cubans were granted special immigration privileges and categorized as political refugees. With U.S. government help, they quickly gained access to housing loans, small business grants, and political clout. As they grew in power, many Cuban Americans in Miami aligned themselves with conservative politics, even supporting anti-Black policies. By the 1980s and 1990s, Black residents in Miami were openly complaining that Cuban officials and business owners excluded them from opportunities. In fact, during the 1980 Liberty City riots, many Black Miamians expressed frustration over job discrimination and political exclusion by Cuban immigrants. Mexican Americans in California, like some Chicano activists aligned with Black causes in the 1960s and 70s, the broader Mexican-American population has increasingly distanced itself. In Los Angeles, from the 1980s to early 2000s, Black communities in Compton, Watts, and South Central were terrorized by Mexican gangs, who carried out racist attacks to forcibly push Black residents out of neighborhoods. Groups like Florencia 13, the Mexican Mafia, La M, and others targeted Black residents, not for gang conflict, but purely on racial grounds. These acts were often ignored or downplayed by city officials who feared backlash from the growing Latinx voting bloc. At the institutional level, many Latino politicians and organizations have historically refused to partner with Black Americans in coalition work. League of United Latin American Citizens, for example, often focused on the advancement of lighter-skinned or white-presenting Latinos, and in the past, excluded Black Latinos and openly rejected alliances with Black civil rights organizations. As new waves of immigrants came to the U.S., Black Americans again extended support, calling for fair immigration policies and humane treatment at the border. Yet, many immigrants, once settled, adopted the racial caste logic of whiteness, embracing anti-Black stereotypes, supporting gentrification that displaces Black communities, and competing for affirmative action benefits that Black people died for. Immigrant groups, some just arriving in the last few decades, have overtaken Black Americans in home ownership, small business loans, and government contracts, often by exploiting the legacy of Black struggles without investing in Black communities. Tell me what you think about this topic. Hope you find the information in this video informative. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment. Thanks for watching.